Hi, welcome to another Sunday News, and I'm Belgrath97 here with Second Class Elitist, and we're going to talk to you about all the new stuff that happened this week. So,
all right,
how's your week been?
Pretty busy.
Pretty busy? Mine too. But, you know.
I've been doing that painting for that 6-month mountain reduction painting challenge.
Alright, so I know my thing hasn't gone up yet, but I've actually started on that, and my first article should be up hopefully about the same time as this video makes it up.
Nice.
Roughly.
For those of you guys that don't know, we did talk about this 2 weeks ago. The 6mm, the 6mm RPC, the 6-month mountain reduction painting challenge. A lot of blogs involved in this right now. I'll put a link below. A lot of guys getting a lot of painting done. We're kind of cheating.
Well, yeah.
We're the only blog that has 4 painters going.
Well, that's not really cheating. That's just the other blogs not trying hard enough.
No, that's not cheating. That's just we roll squad deep.
Exactly. Yeah, we do something. We do it together.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
no, seriously, it's a really great contest thing to do for the different blogs.
Yeah.
Because we all have mountains and mountains of stuff, you know, that we haven't painted yet.
garage syndrome.
Garage syndrome.
Garage of boxes.
Garage of boxes, or basement full of boxes,
Yeah.
or storage bins full of boxes,
Yeah,
or boxes full of boxes.
And again, one of the neat things about this is it's always neat when the blogosphere kind of unites around a point,
Yes.
because it puts context to everyone else's work.
Yeah.
So it's really neat to see.
Yeah, and it lets us know that we're not alone out there in the blogosphere trying to prove our points.
Yep. So good stuff coming.
Yep.
Other reason why I bring it up is for those of you who are in the 6-month mountain reduction painting challenge. Normally we kind of lead off with talking about Kickstarters. And if you're in the 6-month mountain reduction painting challenge, you're really not allowed to buy models except for when you can throw a joker at it. So you're really limited in what you can buy in models. But
we might have a few suggestions for things you can spend your hobby money on that don't count against the
we might
challenge.
be being a little bit sneaky.
Yeah.
And being addicts and still spending our money anyway.
I don't have a problem.
No.
No, not at all.
Put anytime I want.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. All right. So actually, first in that category of things that you can still spend money on, because we all know we're going to spend money this month. So let's just be honest here. Pedion's modular prepainted terrain system.
Yes.
Whole tables full with scatter, and I got to tell you, having looked at the Kickstarter, you might look at the price point at first and go, "That's a lot of money."
It is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. We're not going to lie, it's a lot of money. But for the quality that you're getting, it's not a lot of money.
This is what happens when, I mean, there are some of us that like doing terrain.
Yes.
That are semi-professional at it. Then there are
we
some,
may have been paid to do it at one point in our lives.
Yes. And then there are some people that like doing terrain that are really professional at it.
That's not us.
And then there are people like this that enjoy painting terrain. Oh, and they have a PhD in cartography.
Yeah,
that's cheating.
That is cheating. I'm just saying. Like, so price point is $450 for a table.
Yep.
So
4x6.
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 Right. Which is not honestly bad when you consider you're getting an entire table, including its terrain. Oh, and by the way, everything's all magnetic. Yeah. Like literally, the tree's magnetized to the table. It's completely painted and ready to go. Like literally, if you're a club, if you have a table in your house like we do, or you're a store or a tournament organizer, and these are things that you're not good at and you want to have kick butt tables.
Like if you're running tournaments and you want a table 1 to, or you're a club running tournaments or a Twitch channel and you want a table 1 that's going to look really good on footage, you're not going to be able to do this for $450 any other way. It's that high quality.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we looked at it and we said, could we do what he's got there? Sure. Are we going to be able to do it for that price point? No.
Same thing I said about the secret weapon tables. I mean, really good stuff. I can make an urban table that's 4x6 for what Mr. Justin and Secret Weapon charge for the Secret Weapon urban tables. Or I can make one that looks as good as his.
For 4 times as much.
Yeah, but I can't do one that's going to look that good for $250.
Right.
This is going to be the same way.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to put this amount of terrain and the table together for $450 unless you do this professionally.
Yeah.
For that, right? Just not going to happen. So that's pretty much that.
Yep.
You all should go look at it. It's worth looking at. All right, Spanner in the Works, sci-fi terrain
Yes.
MDF. Actually, really good. I mean, there's some sci-fi games coming out that you might want to buy it for AVP. Oh,
We
did I say
actually-
that out loud?
Well, we can say AVP out loud.
Oh, we can say it out loud now.
I can now say the words Alien vs Predator.
Oh my, really?
No longer bound by a non-disclosure agreement that says that I don't even know what those freaking words mean. So,
Wait, what do they mean?
well, they mean that there's aliens and they're black-skinned things,
Okay.
and then there's predators,
Uh-huh.
and there's colonial marines.
Wow.
And all these things are really, really cool, and they're going to fight each other.
That sounds
and
like
mine's on its way, and it better get here soon.
I don't think you're alone in that feeling.
Not at all. No, not at all.
So anyway, if you're going to expand it beyond the board that comes with the game, which is, what I think most of us bought it for, you're going to want some terrain to go with it. And there's a lot of good MDF terrain out there for science fiction-based products. This falls right in that vein. The value, honestly, is I think what caught us most here.
Yeah.
Literally right now they're running a Kickstarter, and for $100, you can get a landing pad, 2 towers, 2 sets of stairs, 10 barricade straights, 2 barricade corners, 2 barricade billboards, a defense gate, and 4 card inserts to go in your billboards.
Yeah, and that's going to give you a fortress that's about 2 feet by 3 feet. So,
which is a pretty significant chunk of terrain on a table.
yeah, it's not going to give you the carders. They have another pledge a little bit further down. I think it's like 150.
Mm-hmm.
That does a lot of corridor work.
All right.
Pretty much a whole game's worth of corridor work. Really good stuff. And I also like that some of the room chambers that they have have incorporated colored acrylics.
Okay.
For different force fields and stuff like that.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
okay,
so
I missed that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
There you
neat
go.
stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely something you want to look at if you're interested in sci-fi terrain. I mean, like I said, there's other people out there doing sci-fi terrain, not the only ones, but
they're the only one
stuff's
on
good.
Kickstarter right now.
And
so.
I think that's a pretty good value. When
Yeah.
you look at what you get for that, I think you'll agree with me.
It's not a bad kit. Not a bad kit at all.
All right, so Dark Sword Miniatures.
Dark Sword Miniatures.
Yes. So they've funded. They're into their stretch goals. Currently, the $100 core pledge gets you about 20 miniatures.
Yep.
And it's Dark Sword stuff, and it's good. And it's sci-fi, and it's not sci-fi, fantasy. Excuse me. But it's good quality miniatures. If you've looked at any Dark Sword stuff before, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's classic fantasy fare. There's some good monsters in here in this one. I really like the Sturge.
Sturge was good.
I really like that one.
I liked the winged women. Go figure.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
But yeah, so a lot of good stuff. There's a couple good homages. Dark Sword likes working in homages to writers.
Sure.
They've done it before. They did it again rather tastefully in this one.
Okay. I agree.
So yeah, I mean, they got some good stuff going on.
Yeah, it's definitely worth looking at, especially if you're into just good quality miniatures.
Yeah.
Dark Sword puts out good stuff. You really should take a
We
look.
don't talk about a lot of fantasy stuff, and it's honestly because, as far as wargaming goes in the U.S., fantasy doesn't exist. So, but
much to my disappointment, personal disappointment. Okay.
Yours and Lord Huntley's, trust me.
Lord Huntley, I would buy it all if I could.
He's trying.
I'm trying. Okay. All right. Endless Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
Okay.
Back on the fantasy again.
Back to, I know. We just said there was no fantasy, and then
Yeah,
there's
right.
2 fantasy in a row. But it's an expansion to games that already exist, which is nice. There's a couple, good, really nice, solid miniatures in there. There's one in there from a friend of ours.
Yep.
Patrick.
There is one Patrick Keith model in there.
Which you can actually get
By yourself.
if you don't want to pitch in for the rest of it.
Allie wanted to make sure that everyone knew that you can actually pledge for the $5 open pledge and then do an add-on for just the gelato model, and then you can purchase a Patrick Keith model and still help support this Kickstarter all at the same time. Not saying that she did that.
No,
or anything. Certainly
not at all. And we know that we have quite a few Patrick Keith followers out there, so we didn't.
By the way,
yes.
She in fact did not spend the Joker on it. She's
Did someone give her a gift?
She's buying the model and painting it as a gift.
Okay.
For Merrick.
Okay.
So that works, yeah.
That's one way of getting around that.
Yeah, right.
I'm just
sneaky.
That is kind of sneaky. I'm just saying.
When did she become the sneaky one?
I know, what the heck happened? I blame Token Gamer Check. I think it's her influences.
Valid. Okay.
All right. Alternate Dimensions. They have a combat wall system out there, which really.
Okay. You guys have never heard of this company before. I guarantee it.
Oh God, yeah.
They literally don't exist. But
yes.
This is a Kickstarter that every club and every store
Can find a use for.
can use.
Absolutely.
It's a terrain Kickstarter, so again, it's challenge approved.
It's challenge approved. I like that. We're gonna go with challenge approved.
Challenge
now.
approved.
Yeah.
It's barricades.
Yeah.
Simple concrete barricades.
But designed for models that kneel and stand, which is you get barricades that don't always accommodate. You can put a guy kneel behind it, and I can't see nothing.
Yeah.
But it's a simple thing. Like you would look at it and go, "Wow, that's all it is." But then you go, "Wow, I could always use that."
Yeah.
And
and if I remember right, the molds and the tolerances that he set, he built his masters that he made the molds from out of metal.
I believe that is correct.
So they were very precision cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, beautiful looking.
Yeah.
And then everything is. He doesn't say what kind of resin he's using, but it looks like it's a dental resin to me.
Yeah, I mean, in the video you'll see they beat it on the table and nothing happens to it. And
Yeah.
They put it up close so you can see it. I mean, you'll when you get to the video, just keep in mind we mentioned that they don't really exist yet.
Yeah, this is not a polished company,
No.
but
what they're putting out is something all of us can use. Look, there's no one out there who can't find a use for these things.
and you can throw $25 at this one and get a decent amount.
Yeah.
I know because we're throwing 50 at it. So, but you can throw $25 at this and get a decent amount of these barricades, and they will definitely work. They'll be usable on every table. There's even a lot of games right now where you can buy bunkers or barricades as part of your force organization. So in that case, you can kind of look at it as buying models while you're buying terrain, because you're going to need them in your list.
This is true.
So
And it doesn't count.
and
It's challenge approved.
challenge proof.
Okay. So there's an elephant in the room in Kickstarter right now. Zombicide.
Oh yeah, Zombicide. By the way, Zombicide, the Black Flag.
The Black Flag.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fantasy based.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because fantasy doesn't sell.
Okay.
Mwah, mwah.
Oh well.
Fantasy is trying to sell. This has been a
Fantasy
good
is
year for
trying to
fantasy.
sell,
I
yes.
didn't see this one coming. There's a
No.
lot of fantasy this year that I didn't think was coming.
Yeah, it's one of those things where right now in America doesn't seem to be a huge market for it, but then Zombicide comes along and says, well, no, there is.
Well,
But-
and there's a huge market for Zombicide.
Right, and that's really it. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a whole box pledge is $100 gets you Nope, I had to change my math. 124 models
That's
currently.
including all the stretch goals.
That's including all the stretch goals. The $150 pledge gets you 150 models, so literally $1 a model.
Yeah.
They're at 1.6 million pledged
Because fantasy doesn't sell.
because fantasy doesn't sell. No, Zombicide sells.
Zombicide
sells.
sells.
Fantasy doesn't sell.
Actually, I think 1.6 million may be more money than was spent on the mass casualty fantasy game in the U.S. all of last year. I would be willing to bet.
I don't know if I'd go that far. All of the U.S. all of last year.
Not including the monsters, just things that would fit on 20s or 25s.
You're forgetting.
1.6 million.
You're forgetting how much one of those boxes costs.
Oh, that's right.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, maybe it's close.
All right.
They still got 25 days.
They might beat it, but they have 25 days. Honestly,
Those boxes only cost like $25 back when I was buying them.
yeah, they did cost significantly more than that now.
Yeah, there's like double that.
More than double that.
I know, it's terrifying.
Yes.
All right.
I think they've doubled since I started buying them. You bought them long before I did.
Yeah. Come by this naturally.
He's not that much older than me.
Just that much money. What do we got next?
That was me. Just one last thing. There are some very well-known character references. So it's worth looking at if there's any models out there or any characters in literature that you've looked at and said, oh, I'd like to have a model like
If you're
that.
looking for a not Xena model, there's a really good
one,
not
Xena model. You know, that kind of thing.
I honestly, I'm not going to go in for the pledge, but if someone happens to contact me saying that they're willing to spot in a not Merlin for me,
Not Merlin?
I will happily, not pay them for the not Merlin that they'll be not getting and not mailing to me.
Well, if someone like not Xena, not Merlin'd you, would you be willing to not Xena them?
Well, I wouldn't be able to not Xena them because I'm not getting into the Kickstarter.
Well, I'm saying, would you get into the Kickstarter for a not Xena if someone got you a not Merlin and it wouldn't count against your challenge? Because it'd be gifts.
No, because you can't. You have to get in for a full thing.
Oh, you have to get a full thing.
Yeah,
I missed that part.
Yeah, you can't go in for just the add-on. You've got to buy a pledge. So I don't want to go in for $100
For a not
and
Merlin.
10. I don't want a $110 model.
Why not?
But if I've got somebody, maybe
Yeah, I'm just going to point out, you've spent 110 before.
on a model. I have. Actually.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to say. Yeah.
It wasn't even a collector's item at the time either. That's the sad part.
Really?
There's a story about that.
There's a story there. Okay. Infernal Wartune Games. These are the guys that are doing the Skirmish horror game.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a little bit of a soft spot for Skirmish horror.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Horror is good, and it's hard to find good horror games
It
in
is.
28mm.
Yes, it's modern based, so timeline fits correctly. I gotta tell you, looking at the Kickstarter, the models, like the horror models, really intrigue me. Like, if a horror model makes me go, "Ooh, that's creepy," as I'm scrolling past it on the page, they have done their job.
And it did.
And it did.
That was off camera, everything. He was just, as we were scrolling by, he just, So, yeah, it kind of worked.
It did. And so I think that the models are very good quality. I'm not going to speak about the game or anything else because don't know.
Because we don't know the rules yet.
Yeah. But model-wise, I'm intrigued. I might actually jump in on this just to get the creepy model. I don't even like that. But it really, like, if a model elicits that when I'm just scrolling past it on a page, I want to own it.
Okay.
Gotta be honest. I think it's worth looking at. That's all I'm saying.
Price point on that one's not too bad. They're doing a digital version of the rulebook, and then you can buy a faction bundle.
No. Say what you said before.
Oh, when I flubbed it?
Yes.
Yeah, when I tried to say faction bundle as a single word instead of fundle.
Fundles.
Yeah.
So faction bundles are now known as fundles.
So we got fundles.
Yeah.
So there's two different fundles. The first fundle is a human like SWAT strike force team, which is trying to deal with all the creatures of the darkness. The second fundle is the creatures of the darkness that are kind of creepy, necromantic, spidery kind of things.
Yep.
They have two more that are planned and in the works. I've seen some of the artwork for them. They're really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get to them or not, but it's good to know that they have more things planned.
And this one had not funded yet.
This has not funded. They are 2/3 of the way there with 2 weeks left.
Yeah, 15 days left. So I definitely think everyone should go look at it and scroll through the page. And if you don't get creeped out by what I got creeped out by, there's something wrong with you. That's all I'm saying.
And like again, the human SWAT models. I mean, yeah, SWAT models are a dime a dozen, and everybody produces them, and you can get them in bones or gaming plastic, board game plastic, or lots of ways to get them cheaper. But these guys look pretty cool.
Yeah,
they had a nice.
They're nicely done.
They had a nice, unique look for something that is easy to do in a ubiquitous fashion.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Lighter.
Got vodka. All right, AetherCon.
AetherCon. Okay.
So.
AetherCon is a interesting concept.
It is an interesting concept.
It is a online gaming convention. Weekend of November 13th through November 15th.
Yep.
They are currently focusing on RPGs. So they're going to have 25 different sessions with 25 different GMs running 25 different convention-style RPG games.
Yeah.
Really looks good. The reason why we're bringing it up because our audience is right now going, you guys don't talk about RPGs.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about this?
Well,
they're actually having a painting competition.
It's not like when you think of painting competition, and when he said it, the first thing I said was how are people entering, and then he told me what it really was, and I went, oh, that's an intriguing idea. So what they've done is they've gotten 16 teams. All but 2 of them actually, the company that is representing the team is like they're members of that company or doing the work. All right, so basically what it is there are 16 teams. Each team represents a company that will then present a fighter, a wizard, a rogue, and a cleric for us to vote on. The people who are, I guess, attending the con or people who are going to the page to the voting thing. We're not really sure how that's working, but there will be some type of voting where they'll literally put bombshell miniatures against
what's another one was in there? Lance and Laser.
Lance and Laser. So bombshell miniatures versus Lance and Laser, and you get to pick which of those 4 models you think was painted the best. So it's not I'm painting a model, you're painting a model, and we're going to put it up to the internet and let them decide. It's literally, let's put these companies or their representatives to the test and see who puts out the best models with the best paint jobs.
And the only stipulation is that the models have to come from that sponsoring team's line of models.
So a couple people that we have talked about in the past that are going to be there are obviously Bombshell Miniatures, because I mentioned it. Warlock is going to be in there. Lord Huntley.
For Bombshell Miniatures, they're being painted by the phenomenal Mary Prophet. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does with these. I'm not sure who is painting them for Warblock, if that's going to be Lord Huntley or one of his...
I would really like Lord Huntley to do it.
Lord Huntley?
If I could put any pressure on Lord Huntley, I'd like to see him to paint them themselves, because he doesn't paint enough of his own models.
He's usually busy sculpting more of them.
This is true, but I want to see what... the few things that I've seen him paint, I've enjoyed, so I'd like to see him paint more.
Master Huntley, we do beseech you, please paint at least one of the entries for the competition.
There you go. Yeah. But there's a couple big companies being represented as well. GW while they're not doing it themselves, there's a group that are going to represent them. Yep. So there'll be some GW models.
So there's going to be some Games Workshop models there. Lance and Laser. Reaper, Ralph Parther. Ralph Parther Europe, yep.
Ralph Parther Europe. Again, we don't believe that the company themselves is representing it. We believe it's a club representing them.
Yeah.
So those are the two teams that aren't being represented by the company. And I'm going to pause here for a second because I want to commend Lance and Laser and Reaper for supporting a 25-game online cyber convention. In my mind, I look at them and I go, they don't look at this and say, this is going to make me tons and tons of money, but they are doing something to support the community and be part of the community. And I think that needs to be commended because not enough companies that are that size think that way.
They could easily have looked at this and go, we're not going to make enough off of sales from this
to pay one of our painters to
take care of what it's going to cost to paint it. It's not going to be a big enough draw. But they didn't. They want to make sure their name got out there.
Right. And I think that I'm going to commend them, and I'm probably going to go buy some of their models just to prove the point.
There you go. Good on you, mates.
Yeah, because I think it's a really good idea. And I'm really glad that they're in it. And I think it's an intriguing painting competition. Basically, it's going to be bracket style. There are 4 brackets of 4 teams.
Yep.
I'm assuming something like March Madness for those of you in the States who understand what March Madness is. Though that's gotten pretty international. People might know that everywhere place.
Well, also, bracket competitions are older than that, so they should probably have them in Europe.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for making me feel dumb.
No problem.
Okay. All right.
I didn't make you feel dumb. I made you feel American.
Well, the people in Europe feel that's the same thing.
Exactly.
All right, moving on.
By the way, to be fair, the gentleman that's organizing it is from Canada, so he is neither American nor European. He's other.
He's other.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So a couple things from Wyrd.
Yeah.
Some
good weird news.
Some good weird news. We'll start with the previews.
Okay.
Which you've got the Drowned and the Silent One, which those pictures looked awesome. Can I go play those factions now?
I'm already warning you. I'm going to be grabbing the Drowned, and I'm going to be sneaking them into my Undead Pirates of the Black Coast.
Figures, okay.
Because Undead Pirates.
Undead Pirates, go figure. Every time Wyrd puts out a picture, there's very few times where I go, I don't want that model.
Yeah.
And that says something. And they're doing something else that I think is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly awesome. And, they're big enough they don't have to.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give them a shout out, whether my shout out matters or not to anybody, but they are doing their Support Your Local Game Store competition again. Literally, you go into your local game store, you spend $60 or more. Please spend more. Take a picture of the receipt. Send the picture of the receipt to the email address that you'll find on their website because I didn't write it down because I'm an idiot.
That's fine.
And they will send you a special edition. No, they'll put you in the running for a special edition. Or are they sending you one? I forget.
No, you get one.
You get one.
Yeah.
You get a special edition Johanna. So a special edition model that you can only get in this manner.
Well, it's the same Johanna that is occasionally in the boxes.
Okay.
So it is a hard to find model. And one of the complaints had been that unless you go and search for it on eBay, you've got to get one of these 3 boxes from factions that I might not play.
That might
to get a model that I can play because she's a merc.
Right. So, I just support your local game store. Because without those, most of us don't have anywhere to play.
So, for us, we could go to Outside the Box.
Outside the Box.
Because they sell Malifaux.
Okay.
And we could grab, $60 worth of stuff.
Absolutely.
From the box.
And get another Johanna model.
Yes. And then, here's the neat part for the stores.
Okay, so outside the box at that point would get entered, and every week that the contest goes on, they will give 2 stores locally, like nationally in America, or 2 stores internationally, and 2 stores internationally, so 4 stores total, will get a box of limited edition models.
Yep. They can sell them. They can use them for price.
Whatever they want to do with them, just because they sell weird models and someone spent $60 in their store on them. I'm sorry, like, that's just really awesome, guys, and needs to be commended. And I'm not saying that other companies that aren't doing these things, I'm not trying to downplay them, but something like this, anything like this, that supports the community, supports the stores that create the community, especially in America. I know in Europe they have more clubs and stuff, but in America, a lot of times the community is the store.
Yeah.
Without stores, there is no community.
And without stores, it's we've seen it time and time again.
Games die.
If a store closes, the community dies because, unfortunately, in this country, you don't have a lot of people that have a room like we have.
Right. Like,
that are willing to put the time and space aside to be able to play games if they don't have a local store. So as soon as this local store goes away, people will start meeting at a house, and it'll be once a week, and then it'll be once a month, and it'll be once a never.
Yeah, and it dies out and it goes away, and that community. We've been part of those communities. Part of the reason we exist now is because of those type of communities dying out. We've decided we didn't want that to happen.
I still miss Jesters, by the way.
While
we're talking about clothes stores.
I still miss Jesters. None of us got there enough lately, so it's
also our fault.
It is partly our fault. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
for those of you who don't know, because we're a little bit on a side tangent at the moment, there was a store called Jester's Playhouse, which, if you go back through 20 years worth of White Dwarfs to look at clubs who had banners at Games Day, you'll find Jester's Playhouse 20 years ago, and they had been a staple. They were a staple in the community when I owned a store. They've been a staple in the community up until last year.
I mean, my first interaction with Jesters, before I moved where I was somewhat local to them, the last Games Day that I went to, they built a Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
A full-size Minas Tirith that they ran games for. It's the last Games Day in Baltimore. If you were there, you'll remember it, because it was spectacular. That was Jester's Playhouse, and that was their community. And the store died.
Yeah.
It's now closed, and we're part of the problem, I'm not going to lie, because we stopped going too.
But yeah, so I mean, a lot of companies don't really work to support local gaming stores, and we're not saying that this is costing Wyrd a lot of money, because they're probably not sending boxes; they're just sending a sprue, so it's effectively a dime's worth of plastic. But the fact that they're sending the dime's worth of plastic and doing it in a way where they're not making money off it directly, that really helps out a lot.
Yeah. So we commend them, and that's why we wanted to mention it. All right. So the last thing for our topics of the day.
Did you want to save that for after?
Let's do show and tell, and then we'll go back to that. Okay. Let's do show and tell.
You guys have heard me talk a few times about a game called Superhero Dinosaur Zombie Apocalypse, which is being put out by Nexus. I will have links below. And you had seen some of these models before they were painted, and I'm happy to report that Allie and I have managed to get a good number of them done. There will still be some coming later, but I don't know that Drew can contain himself any longer. So it's about time that I show you guys some of what we had going on.
Okay.
We are going to start with the small ones and work our way up. This is a pack of Secret Agents. Secret Agent
Man. Sorry. We're singing. Sorry.
Really good job on these. You have the classic look and the modern look according to the set. I went a little bit different, and rather than do the classic British agent and modern British agent, I did the classic British agent and the classic American agent, so that I have my not James Bond versus a not Matt Helm instead.
Okay.
But yeah, easily works. You can do whatever you want with them. You can see as you spin around, a lot of good detail.
I know you didn't go with the Roger Moore James Bond.
No.
Okay, I'm just pointing.
Had to go Sean Connery.
You went Sean Connery.
So as you can see with these, I apologize, I don't remember who sculpted what for this line. I don't know if these are Ian's or not, but really, really good work. Nice detail on the face. Classic 28 millimeter, 28 millimeter epic proportions, which is what this entire line is going to be. I am still more a fan of the more natural sculpt as opposed to the epic with the big hands and the big heads, but I understand the reasons for it, and these look really, really good. Next set is going to be some of the FON operatives, which is to say freaks of nature.
The not mutants.
The not mutants.
Yeah.
Starring the not Cyclops, not Wolverine, not guy that is made from the same mold as not Cyclops, and not Beast, who is made from the same mold as the not Wolverine. 2 different body types in this pack. It comes with 2 heads and then 2 alternate heads that can also be purchased from the website.
Okay.
Again,
So the same body sculpt. I actually, looking at it, it's funny. I easily identified which one of those each character were, and I didn't even realize that those were the same body and those were the same body.
yeah. And,
So the heads work.
The heads really do work. And again, these are going with the traditional colors, traditional as in, the homage. In the game colors, these would be purple and white for these factions. And I'll get around to some of those eventually. But that's going to be these guys here.
Yeah.
Now, we had some superheroes.
I think it's time for some dinosaurs.
Time for some dinosaurs.
You know what's missing?
Zombies.
Zombies.
They're not out yet.
Okay.
But when they're out,
I'm sure we will have some.
I've seen the greens.
Okay.
They're going to be good.
But anyway,
They're gonna be
that's
fun.
a dinosaur.
Allie did tremendous paint jobs on this one. But the piece spoke really easily. I do want to make a note and apologize. Gummy here should have much larger teeth.
What we do? What happened?
Apparently not on the way here, but after it got here, mid-transit, there was a gravitic altercation,
And teeth broke.
And teeth broke.
So he's gummy.
It works as is, so we're not going to worry about it too much. But if you were to get this guy, the teeth top to bottom would be filling about half of the volume of that mouth.
So the teeth are pretty impressive.
Yeah, it looks really good. And when you take a look at it on the Nexus site, you'll definitely see what I mean. They look really, really good. But again, I really like what she did with the paint job.
I think she did a great job on that.
It's a great
one.
piece.
And if I'm not correct, that is the correct coloring for that particular...
It's one of the assumed correct ones.
Well, yeah, we don't really
She
know.
went through... again, Allie does a lot of research on
Yes.
the paint jobs, so... But yeah, this is some really, really good work.
Yep.
And the last entries that we have...
Definitely part of the apocalypse.
These are Sentry robots.
Century of robots. Yeah, Century. Century.
Sentinel robots.
Centennials. Yes.
This is in the alternate color scheme, which
you broke it.
which was the one that Allie painted up. Nice classic comic book dark lining.
Or for some of us, cartoon.
Cartoon, yeah.
I'm just saying it was in the cartoon too. I'm sorry.
She may in fact have been singing it while she was painting it.
No, not Allie. She wouldn't do anything like that.
However, one of the more correct paint schemes for the line...
What are you trying to say? That her paint scheme's not correct?
Not to game fluff.
Alright.
Would be this.
That is the game fluff?
That is game fluff.
Okay.
One of 3 possible
Paint
color
schemes.
schemes depending on what faction it's with at the time.
Okay.
And this was the one that I painted up. Not quite as clean as hers, but then again, I'm not the one with an art degree, so I'll take it.
I was going to say, looks pretty good to me.
Now,
Says the non-painter.
What I did do, however, and let you guys know, it actually comes with 2 options for the right hand. You have that option there, which is the gauntleted hand, the same as the left, or you have a weapon connection,
Oh my God, he broke his arm!
I magnetized.
Oh, there you go. See? Magnets are fun.
Magnets. So that would be these guys here. Just to give you a quick idea of scale.
Yep, absolutely.
Because that's going to help with this. That gives you a scale for humans and robots.
And freaks of nature. Oh,
And this will give you a scale for the dinosaur. As I kill my turntable.
You did. It's like, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm done.
So that gives you some ideas there. Really good line. I was going to mention to everybody that Drew had a small shuttlecraft-like piece that was going up, and he was only going to have 25 available.
Yeah, and?
Because he was putting them up Monday, and I was going to let people know how many were left and available to purchase when we did the Sunday news. And that number is none! They're all gone already!
He didn't put them up yet.
No, he put them up
Last Monday.
Oh! And they sold out in a week. So, good job, Drew, right?
Good job, right, I know.
All right, so the
and he charged a lot for those 25 each, right?
Yeah, it was
good.
Well, he charged a good price. They weren't cheap.
So, so they were limited edition, and good.
Yeah, because he had one run made from the mold to test how many he was going to make, and apparently he needs to make more. So it's good. And Superhero Dinosaur Zombie Apocalypse, we've mentioned it a few times. Again, for those of you who know who Drew Wood is, this is his brainchild. And
really?
Yeah.
Should I be concerned?
You should.
Okay.
Some good stuff in here, though.
Yeah, there is
the
good
rules
stuff.
the rules are in play testing. There's going to be more coming out. So, again, this isn't going to Kickstarter. This is going directly to drip and drab releases. And every time he sells models and uses those proceeds to get new greens made and then new molds made, and then has more stuff up on the website. So if you're a fan of that late 80s, early 90s pop genre, this is going to be a really good game for you. There's a lot of references still yet to come. Pretty much everything from late 80s, early 90s is going to make its way into the game line at one point or another. I have some more models that I finished yet.
Is there going to be a not Hasselhoff?
There has been discussion of a non-Hoff.
A non-Hoff?
There needs to be a non-Hoff at some point.
If you're going to do 80s pop, you've got to do a non-Hoff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's just what I'm saying.
Because you got so many different options.
I know, right?
But yeah, so, I mean,
do all of them.
Great line of models. Definitely, if you're of the right age bracket, they're going to evoke a reaction from you. It's just some really cool stuff. So definitely make sure you check out Nexus. And, I'm helping with some of the play testing on the game. As we get closer to a rules release, I'll let you know. But definitely some good stuff coming there.
Absolutely. All
right, so now that you think we've done as much possible damage as we can to your wallet,
no, we haven't.
We're going to leave you with one closing
hang
announcement.
Oh, I didn't bring my wallet.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing, because I'd literally be throwing it at the camera at Patrick Keith.
Yes.
So, his Facebook page, for those of you who follow Patrick Keith, had a big announcement in the banner up top. Bombshell Babes 2 finally have a date, September. Get your wallets ready, people, because money. Money.
I may or may not.
I can sell a kidney, right?
Yeah. No, well, the trick is you sell somebody else's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Hey, second class elitist, can you give me a knife? I gotta talk to him for a second. Okay.
Yeah. I have actually seen some of the greens.
Oh, you jerk!
I have seen some of the things that he's
I hate you.
I have seen some of the things that he's not yet announced that he's working on. This is going to cost you some money, brother.
Oh man!
This is going to cost you some money.
All right, good. What do we got?
No, I can't even.
You can't even tell me.
No, I literally.
You're just telling me that you know what I'm gonna buy, and I'm gonna need to sell blood to make money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you that I am right. Actually, watch this.
Oh boy.
I am right now going to write a number down here, and in September, you're gonna pledge, and we're gonna see how close I am.
All right.
All right.
I like this challenge. I'm not looking.
I don't trust you.
I'm not looking. Camera knows I'm not looking because I'm looking at the camera. Audience, you can tell he's writing things and I'm not looking. I'm looking at you.
All right, so.
Now, where are you going to put that? You're not going to lose it by September.
Well, I'm going to put it somewhere where it's safe from you, so probably our painting board.
Oh, I knew that was coming as soon as you looked up, you jerk.
Have it guarded by Mr. Jingles.
I'll never look at it.
Yeah.
That's a good place to put it.
All right, so we're going to go put this in the covered model cabinet. There are models that Belgrath does not like the physical appearance of. So
It's not even really the physical appearance. It's the story that goes along with it because Bob Mervine's a sick man.
Yes, he is. So we love him for it.
Moving on.
So I have a small section of models that are actually windowed off and concealed. You know, kind of like you had to do with the 18 and over in the old movie stores.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
For much of the same
Same reason, yep.
So we're going to go hide this over there, and then in a couple months we'll let you know what this said. But yes, Patrick Keith.
I want to know what it says. He's going to put it in one spot. I'm not going to look.
Yep. Patrick Keith, Bombshell Babes.
September. Get your wallets ready, people.
That's going to cost some money. That's going to be great. All right, so we want to thank you all again for coming. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to tell friends.
Follow, do everything.
Yep.
Read our blog.
Read our blog, watch our vlog.
Tell everybody the Sunday news is the most incredible thing you ever see.
Yep. And that's going to do it for this week. We will be back next week with more fun and more shenanigans.
Absolutely. Till next time, guys.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Do you remember how to do this?
Not really.
Not really?
No.
Okay.
Go through it real quick with me and I'll do it.
All right. Well, that's the thing that records things.
I know that.
And we talk to that thing
I know we talked
about those things.
Okay.
All right.
Is there anything specific I'm supposed to say in the beginning? Just say welcome to another Sunday News?
Pretty much.
Okay. I had stage fright. I apologize. Start over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hi, welcome to another Sunday News. And I'm Belgrath97 here with Second Class Elitists. And we're going to talk to you about all